Hello, this is Gyro, and I am going to teach you how to create a door that opens when you press a button and closes when you press it again. In the process, you'll also learn how to use buttons, well, of course, the axis constraint, and hydraulics. It's fairly simple, I know, but this video was actually requested specifically by a friend of mine who's just starting out with GMod. Okay, so let's get started. This map is GM Megastruct, by the way. It's a really nice thing that I just got. So, this looks like a very good place to put our door. It's got a nice entrance into numerous other places. A couple of interesting rooms. Yeah. It only has one entrance, at least from here. There's actually, you can get in there from this other building. Not going to cover that for now. Okay, so what you're going to need to start out... Actually, I should probably teach you how to use hydraulics first. Okay. So hydraulics are basically these... it works the same way as a hydraulic does in real life. So if you have a hydraulic attached to one end of to something and to the ground, the hydraulic will push it up like that. So I'll show you how to do that. As you know, in GMod, for most tools, for most like active components, you select a key on the numpad, like one of these, and you just press a button on the numpad, which is to the right of the arrow keys, and it will perform the action. So I've got this set to something, and you can select a key, and left clicking will create a hydraulic between 2 points, and right clicking will create a hydraulic constraint that goes from straight out from any flat surface to like the other whatever's right across from it. So this, I'm just going to do this here. And that hydraulic will, when I press the 7 key on my numpad, it will do this. I think you get the idea. When I press the 7 key again, it will start going the other way and return to its original position. This can be used to make elevators, which are, well, when you use the hydraulic thing, they're pretty glitchy sometimes. Today, we are lucky. Now, notice that I had the box fixed checked. Now when I uncheck this, it won't move it in a straight line. It will just, you know, increase the distance between these 2 points. So if these aren't fixed, so when I press 7, the 7 key on the numpad now, well, you see what's happening. The axis constraint forces an entity to move around a certain axis. So I'm going to click part of this right here. Oh, whoops. Going to axis this thing right here. So now it will move around, it will only move around that specific axis. If I try to, you know, lift it up, or if I try to rotate it in another direction, it won't work. But it can rotate around this one axis like you know, like a wheel or something, or a joint. Aha, convenient, I spawned right next to it. So since this entrance is actually taller than what we're going to use for the door, I'm going to weld 2 of these together using Easy Weld. Now let's access these in place so that it functions as a swinging door in front of the entrance. Whatever. So, just gonna run back, and here we are. We have a swinging door directly in front of our entrance. Why do I keep dying? Yes. So, you can probably guess what's coming next. I'm going to take the hydraulics tool, and I'm going to set a key, let's say 4, the 4 key on the numpad, or maybe enter on the numpad. It'll set the additional length to something around 200. And I'm going to set the speed to about 100. And the width to something around 2. Now, if you want to make an invisible hydraulic, you set the width to 0. You select in that box and you set the width to 0. But currently I do not want to make an invisible hydraulic. So make sure that the fixed box is not checked. That would screw this whole thing up. So, I'm going to take that, going to make sure this is all basically flush with the wall, and I'm going to create one here. Actually, it would be better to do it with just one, so I'm going to do that. So when I press the Enter key on the numpad, it opens up, just like that. So, now I'm going to show you how to make a button. Select the model for the button, and I'm going to set it to the key to emulate to the numpad Enter, which means that when you press this button, it will do exactly what pressing the numpad Enter key on your keyboard would do. I'll demonstrate this by setting it to 0, then creating dynamite, setting that to 0, right here. So when you press the button, yeah. So, going to create a button that emulates the numpad Enter key. Right next to the door. So when you press this button, the door opens. So anybody in a server online could just go up to this and open it. So sometimes just using the keypad is better, but you know, this gives it more of a realistic feel, or like you're actually playing a game that somebody else made or something. So you press this button, and you wouldn't want people to get trapped inside, so we should probably create one on the inside. And there you have it. You have a working door.